Hello children, welcome to yet another session of Geography Class 10, Natural Vegetation Session 3. So before we begin, let us have a quick recap of what we have studied in our previous session. In our previous session, we started from tropical desert or thorn forest, and we learned that it survives in the temperature of 25 to 27 degrees Celsius, rain less than 50 centimeters, humidity below 47%, and the areas where we find it was southwest Punjab, Haryana, western Uttar Pradesh, eastern Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. Now the characteristics of the tropical desert are the trees are stunted, large patches of coarse grass. Trees have long roots which go deep down in search of water. Plants like cactus have no hardy wood stem but have thick fleshy stem to store water. Some plants have leaves turned into spines to reduce excessive transpiration, and some plants bear flowers with pungent smell to keep away animals. Okay. Now, the trees which grow well in tropical desert, bear is one of the trees, then neem, acacia, and it is babool. This is date palm here. Okay, we come next to the littoral forest. Now, it grows in the deltas of Ganga, Brahmaputra, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, saline swamps. And the largest forests are called the Sundarbans, found in the Ganga Brahmaputra delta because of the large concentration of the Sundari trees. Now the important trees of this forest, let me tell you children, these forests are also called the tidal forest, the mangrove forest, delta forest and the swampy forest. Now the important trees are Sundari, Keora, Amur, Agar. Now the characteristics of these tidal forests, they are evergreen, have stilt-like supporting roots which are submerged in water during high tides. Now the Sundari tree is important because it is used for making boats and they are strong, and as such they are grown in the Brahmaputra valley. Okay, next we come to the mountain forests, and this is greatly influenced by the decrease in temperature with the increase in height above the sea level. Temperatures here are 12 to 13 degrees Celsius, rainfall 100 to 300 centimeters, humidity 56 to 65%, divided into two groups. Now these forests, the mountain forests, they are divided into two groups. The forests of the Himalayan range and the forests of the peninsular plateau and hills. Now the mountain forests, let us first study about the Himalayan range forests. Now the forests of the Himalayan range, they are evergreen, softwood trees, cone shaped, as such they are called coniferous forests. Fewer varieties grow in uniform height. They have pointed leaves and have more wood in the trunk than in the branches. Now the important trees that we find here are silver fir, juniper, pine, birch, spruce, deodar and maple. Now the mountains of the South Mountain Forest, Southern Mountain Forest. Now here the rainfall is more than 150 centimeters, temperatures 18 to 24 degrees Celsius, humidity 51 to 81%, areas where grown Western Ghats, Vindhyas, Nilgiris. Characteristics of the forest, the mixture of tropical and temperate forests from a height of 1,500 meters above the sea level, And the temperate forests are called sholas in Nilgiri and Annamalai hills. Important trees: magnolia, laurel, cinchona, wattle, jamun and plum. So let's get started with our today's session, and we start with the forest cover in India. Now, scientists opine that a good environment should have an area of 33% of its land under forests. So, this is also said by the United Nations that every country should have 33% of their land area under forest cover. But unfortunately, India has only 21.2%. With Madhya Pradesh has the largest area under the forest area. Haryana is in the last position and Karnataka is in 13th position. Okay, now a very interesting thing to note that India, with 16% of the world's population, has only 2% of the world's forest. So we must have at least 33% of the land area under the forest cover. Now, causes for the decline of the forest cover. Why is the forest cover declining in India? Now, increase in population. Now, how is this increase in population related to decline in the forest area? We need more food, so we have cleared the forest to bring more land under the crop. Apart from that, overgrazing by animals, demand for industrial timber, so we are recklessly cutting down the trees. Then new townships, new highways, new industries are being made every day. For that, again the forests need to be cleared, and these new townships, highways and industries built. So these are the major causes for the decline of forest cover in India. Now, forests are very important in our lives, you know. Now, something that we are directly getting from the forests. So for that, we call it direct advantages that we are availing from the forests. Firstly, the valuable timber for the industrial and the domestic use that we are taking. So we are getting that from the forest itself. Apart from that, we are getting gum, resin, herbs, honey, spices. All these things we are getting from the forests. Forests provide employment to millions of people in lumbering, sawing and furniture making, and export of foreign products. Forest products are also helping us to earn foreign exchange. So this way the forests are helping us a lot. Apart from that, forests are grazing ground. They are home to the wildlife. If you cut down the forest, what happens? All the wildlife will come into the urban areas. Okay, so it's very important for the forest to remain. And then it also acts as a tourist attraction. As such, the tourists may flock to these places. You have the reserved bird sanctuaries and the reserve wildlife resorts. So all these things we are getting to see. These are tourist attractions also, the forests. Now there are indirect advantages also, which are from which we are not directly getting advantage. Indirectly we are getting advantage. Number one is modify the climate of a place. So the forests are modifying the climate of a place. It is increasing the humidity and helps in causing rainfall, absorbs the carbon dioxide, controls air pollution, increases oxygen, the roots bind the soil and prevent soil erosion, maintain underground water table, increase the soil fertility, And how does it increase the soil fertility? It is increasing the soil fertility as the decay of the dead plants and leaves, when they fall on the ground, they decay and they make humus. So this way they increase the soil fertility also. Now how do they increase the underground water table? The roots of the plants, they absorb the rainwater or the running water, and this way they increase the underground water table. Had there not been any trees, what the area would get flooded with a lot of soil erosion taking place. Is that clear? Okay. Now we come to how can we conserve the forest. So we have understood till here that forests are very valuable resource. So they give us so many plenty of things. So we need to conserve the forest. And how can we conserve the forest? Let us see. Bring more land under forest cover. So we need to bring more and more land under forest cover. Stop felling of the trees. The felling of the trees needs to be stopped. Laws should be made. Strict laws should be made to stop and check deforestation. Use alternative sources of energy and not depend on firewood. Is that clear, children? So these are the ways in which we can conserve forest. Please make proper notes to learn your answers. Next is the National Forest Policy. Now the National Forest Policy, the Government of India adopted a forest policy in 1952, which was modified in the year 1988. Now what are the objectives of this policy? Now better forest management, conserve and protect forest, expand forest reserve, maintain ecological balance, then stop soil erosion, providing fuel wood, fodder, small timber to village people, and bring 33% of the land area under forest cover. So these are the basic objectives of the national policy which was modified in the year 1988, National Forest Policy of India. Okay. Next we come to social forestry. Okay. It is the management and protection of forests. Now social forestry means management and protection of forests, planting trees on barren lands to help environment, social and rural development. It is for the community development. It consists of reforestation, joint management of forests and its production processes. So it helps in the environment, social and rural development. Next, objectives of social forestry. In this slide you can see social forestry. On this depends the rural forestry, community forestry and agroforestry. Is that clear? Okay. Next, the components of social forestry are that to provide fuel wood, fodder for cattle, minor forest products to village people, develop local cottage industries by providing raw material, better methods to conserve soil erosion, increase agricultural products by using cow dung manure, provide employment to village people. So these are the major components or objectives, you can say, of social forestry. Okay, now next is what is agroforestry. When we talk about agroforestry, so it is a method of planting diverse fruit trees and other trees in the blighted lands, and especially as for India, like we can say the fallow lands where nothing is grown, in those areas where agriculture is practiced, apart from growing crops, rearing animals, the farmer grows fodder and grows trees for fuel. So they are combining agriculture and forestry, and this is called agroforestry. So I repeat myself, so agroforestry is a part of social forestry only. It is in this the farmers grow crops, rear animals, grow fodder and grow trees for fuel. So agriculture and forestry, so those crops are grown which are giving fuel or which are giving fodder. So apart from the general crops which are grown, so that is called agroforestry. Now objectives of agroforestry is to reduce the pressure on natural forests for obtaining timber, to check soil erosion and maintain the fertility of the soil, and to maintain the ecological balance. Okay, now today we end here with this, and with this we come to the end of the chapter also. Read the chapter properly from your textbook, make notes as given, and next time we will work out the question answers. Till then, I wish that you stay safe and stay at home. Thank you.